something that singers don't do very often, but I think that it's good. You might consider practicing this with a metronome.
Oh yes.
I'm also a little bit of a hypocrite about this point, but I think that it's really helpful to have something really keeping track of the pulse. And in this one, you might set it for eighths, because if your quarter notes are super slow, in D, and again, which is what, like 40?
Yeah, probably.
I don't practice with a metronome. bad behavior. Good. So. No, it's fine. I'm guessing that would be about 40, which would be put your eighth notes at about 80. You would put your eighth notes at 80. If that's the tempo that you. In which case you would have 4 eighth notes, per thing. Because these 16th notes, and whenever anything's written in 2/4, it's harder to read the rhythms for me. For whatever reason, it doesn't make any sense, but it seems to be true. When you have these 32nd notes and the 16th notes, it just looks like a mess. But you need to keep really, really good track of the pulse throughout. The only one tiny German thing. You speak German?
I took it in college.
Yeah, that sounds like it. It's not so close. You're saying E a little bit.
Yeah, I made the mistake of listening to a German singer.
That's why a mistake.
Well, he pronounced the E, and I couldn't figure out why, but he does.
I can't figure that out either.
Dialect.
He was in some weirdo part of Germany. That's great. Good. So I think essentially the main thing to work on is the pulse. And when you go down to those low notes, make sure you're really opening up and giving us that tone so that we can appropriately swoon. Okay? Yeah, will you set it at 80? 4/4 and 80? Oh wow, that's almost 80. So take it. Perfect. The way it's set.
You want this for quarters or eighths?
For eighths. Okay, this is the real serious now. Can we go from the beginning? Okay, 1, 2, 3.
In diesen Eigenhallen kennt man die Rache nicht, und ist ein Mensch gefallen, führt Liebe ihn zur Pflicht.
Good job.
Dann wandert.
Right, and that's partially what. I don't have a smartphone. I don't know how they work. Good. So I think that's worth doing. And if not that, just tapping it out, and make sure you're really counting there, because we want to have that happen. The other thing I might ask you to consider is a breath here, so that there's no breath.
One thing I have to work on is the phrasing. I take a breath in the wrong places.
So that's a good place for a breath, and then not breathing until after Pflicht. And then the only other breath I thought maybe didn't work so well was another in these dotted. You don't need to have those, I don't think. So breathe, big breath here, and then wait until you get to the rest. In this one, the phrases are short enough. I think you can basically breathe on the rests.
You're right.
And not much in between.
Right.
Okay, hold on. Let's see if there's time to go over this again. I don't think we do, but that's really great to work on those things, and maybe you can bring the second verse of it too, if you feel really comfortable about the pulse. But I think that's the first thing to really work on. The sound is just delicious. It's lovely. So get that breath to be working all the way through. That's great. Thanks for singing that.